Welcome to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprofit.com. And
welcome everyone to the
hosts,
Fantasy
Craig and
Football
Jeff.
Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. And today we have a live auction draft that is literally about to start in 3, 2, 1. Draft is starting. We timed that pretty good. We're doing a 10-team standard scoring auction draft with some listeners here. So me and Jeff are just going to kind of talk this thing out as we're drafting and see how this plays out. We have not done any auctions yet this year, even though auctions are our favorite format, I would say by far. I have to nominate. So there we go. I'm not playing around here. We're going Christian McCaffrey, number 1. Let's see what happens here. So sometimes in these auctions, people get a little freaked out early on, and the first guy could go for less. So we'll see how that plays out here. And I don't know, Jeff, are you going to go after Christian McCaffrey here?
I mean, for the right price, yeah.
So I love auctions. So if you want Christian McCaffrey, you can go after Christian McCaffrey no matter what. You don't have to just get the number 1 pick to get him. You can get him if you want him. You can go, do as much as you can here to bid up to get him. So we're at $64 right now, about to be 65.
I just wanted to make sure that he didn't go for undervalue. I kind of want to do something different. I've gotten Christian McCaffrey in drafts before.
McCaffrey goes 64. So will that be a good price? Will it not? We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's good according to the values currently on ESPN. I think he was actually rated as like a 62. Yep. Obviously that doesn't mean a whole lot once you start, but it's a good baseline to begin with. Now we're about to find out if Dalvin Cook goes for more, less. This is where the fun begins, really.
Yeah, that first guy sometimes can go for less, or people can be scared off. I'm never that scared off of prices. I'm just not. If you want a guy, get the guy. Find out a way to make it work, right? That's how I'm at. So we're at $58 right now for Dalvin Cook. Oh, come on, Jeff. Jumping in there. I thought no one else is bidding. It's just me and you here. I thought.
Well, I feel like he has to go for. Yeah, there you go. He has to go for at least 60. I'll give him to you. There's plenty of other guys I wouldn't mind having.
Is no one else going to jump in here? Shoot, I'll take that. $60 Dalvin Cook. Give it to me.
No, that's a good price. And besides, I feel like we end up going for the same people. So eventually,
that cuts me out of some here.
Yeah,
getting down. I'm good with $60 all day. And
okay, this is actually funny. So. This will be the funny part about it too. Obviously, these are listeners, so they know who we like. So they threw ETN out there very early. And now the question is, how much is he actually worth? Do you want to spend that money on him early? Are you waiting to, throw your money elsewhere? It's a very
it could get. I don't think anybody knows what the value of ETN.
No. And you didn't get to look at his price either because he was so far down there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already at 11. But that'll be the interesting part. How much, do you think right now there's a lot of running backs left, right? So McCaffrey goes for 63 or 64, and then Dalvin went for 60. Are you assuming that each one of these guys will get lower and lower for the next couple?
Well, I guess it depends on every auction's different, right? So it looks like you're nominated. Here we go. Travis Kelce. Okay. So every auction's different, and you got to feel out how this auction's playing out. So like McCaffrey went for 64, Cook went for 60. I think they might just go lower right now. I don't know if we're going to get that bidding war. It didn't happen for the first two. People kind of got scared off. I guess also depends on if you're in an auction league with people who are maybe new to it. Holy crap. What happened here?
Well, if you don't want Travis Kelce or you're not going to spend the money on him because he's going to be expensive, throw him out like I did, because I just took a giant chunk of change off the board, which I'm very surprised at.
$57 for Travis Kelce. That shocked me. But here's Derrick Henry. This is going to be the story. So now Henry comes up as the third back and the last of the tier, right? And he's already up to 57 right now. 58.
I think he's the one that could break it, but we'll find out.
He is. He went above Cook already. So is that where he's going to stop, though? Looks like he might stop there at 61. So he's going to go in between McCaffrey and Cook. So we've kind of established a price there. And I don't think anybody goes now. Obviously, no one else goes above that, maybe. Well, that's not bad, though. You can went for more than Cook. No one went for crazy amount here. Except for Travis Kelce, to me, is a little nuts.
I mean, it was a lot, but he is a very good player. interesting one here, and I don't know if this is strategy or what. It would have to be, because this is not just a random, you can't just randomly hit it. But Robert Tonyan will be the fourth guy that is set up there. I'm wondering if the individual that did it was wondering if he could steal him for $1. Right. He actually ended up going for like 4, which is, it's whatever. Yep. But I'm assuming he took a shot and been like, okay, I actually want this guy for $1. Let's go ahead and see if I can get him here. Do you like that idea? Like at what threshold would he have to be able to go for? Because I feel like Tonyan, that's a weird one. But if you wanted, say, I don't know, say a running back that was worth $10, would you throw it out early, or are you going to wait until a bunch of money's off the board?
Honestly, maybe early, because like an ETN went for 11. That's pretty good value, I feel like. But right now, people aren't going to go crazy about it because there's no, like, there's all kinds of running backs. There's no scarcity yet. Once there becomes scarcity and like a tier is ending, these guys go for so much more. Like if you look at it, if you have them ranked in a certain tier and this is the last guy and it's a big drop off, that guy's going to probably go for more than guys before him even went. It's just the way it ends up playing out every time. So I'm good with nominating like a mid-tier guy that you like early, and usually you can probably get a value on him. So I'm completely good with that. So DK Metcalf is up. We haven't any receivers yet to establish like any kind of receiver, price here. He's up to 36. I'm curious where he's going to go here. Jeff's on him at 36. I think I'm going to hold off on this one. Jeff, I thought you had him for 36. That would have been nice. No, went for 37 now. You got one more bid in you?
No, I'm gonna let him go.
Well, and see, this is where Metcalf's an interesting one, because there's other receivers that you would rank higher than him out there yet. So people don't maybe keep the bidding war going because of it.
And yeah, that's why you kind of like let off the gas a little bit, because you're hoping to get one deal early on so you can kind of figure out what your budget is going to be.
Yep.
Especially for not going after, like, I'm not really going after one of the top 5 running backs, which I think is okay in this situation. I think auction opens up a lot of possibilities, because I do think that there's a lot of good young running backs available. I could name off a bunch, but I think especially in this, the ESPN ranks, I should say, I think Nick Chubb is a little undervalued. And you could easily get 3 of these guys. Obviously, I like Dobbins and Swift. I think they're undervalued. They probably won't be in this one. But you can still get like an Aaron Jones and Austin Eckler for probably relatively cheap. And you can, even if you get in trouble, you can still get a Montgomery probably for undervalue.
Alvin Kamara just went for 55. People aren't venturing much above the ESPN suggested price right now that I've seen.
Aaron Jones, if they will.
Aaron Jones is the most above right now. He's at 53, and his suggested was 45. This is the biggest one I've seen so far. It's
like a mental constraint. Like when you see that and you're kind of like, oh, he's worth 50, and all of a sudden you're over it. All of a sudden you're kind of like, oh, he's not worth it. He's not worth it. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's the same reason. Like if you really want a player, you can go all in, but you have to figure out what your budget is going to be first, right? Like I really want McCaffrey. And if I get McCaffrey, I know I'm not going to be able to get another top 10 guy probably. Or I could go 2 big running backs, and then I'm going to go really low on wide receivers. So you do have to kind of figure out a couple of strategies early on, because the other thing that can happen is, you could say you want McCaffrey, but another person will go hog wild, and then you still, have to pull off of it.
So I threw out Zeke. I didn't really plan on going after Zeke. I just wanted some more money off the board here. That's pretty much all I'm looking for. There's a couple other guys I might have might be targeting. So Zeke isn't really one of them, but if he had gone lower, I would. But $50 for Zeke, up to 51. I don't really feel like paying that for Zeke. I don't know what he is. He might have hit that wall last year. It could have happened. I don't think I want to risk Zeke anymore on my teams in fantasy after what I saw last year.
The crazy part is I kind of agree with you. And not that I'm not going to rank him up there, but when I have to choose one of the top 10 guys, he's just not the one I'm choosing anymore.
It's just not. I don't feel comfortable with him as my one anymore. You see these running backs drop off quick. So not there with him. And Devontae Adams is out there 49. DK's price of 37 is looking a little better even.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
And 49 for Adams. So that went pretty quick. That's not bad either. None of these prices are crazy. Okay. There goes somebody throwing to Robbie Anderson.
This is always a great one. So you can steal them for $1. I don't know if I would wait on it. Okay, no, it's gone up to 3 already. I don't know if I would wait on guys like that or not, because I do feel you can try to sneak them in here. But with someone kind of like Robbie Anderson, even though I can't believe he's going for 8, I do feel like at the end of the draft or near the end, if the longer you wait on these guys, the more that their price gets driven down, the more if you have a few dollars left, you can kind of time it. Because usually there's a couple of people that have a bunch of cash left over, right? They get stuck in the middle, so they have to spend like crazy. So it's like in the beginning, you hit up all the high end targets, and then in the middle, like there's probably the rest, 6 of the teams are kind of picking from there. And then there's always 1 or 2 that wait and have all their cash. And then all of a sudden they have to spend it all, and they just take whoever they want. And I'm going to nominate Jonathan Taylor. And that's the interesting part. If you can wait out that, then you can all of a sudden get really good deals on $1 to $3 players at the end.
The biggest thing is too, with this thing is don't wait forever, Jeff. You still have all your money,
Oh, no. I know. I do know a couple of players I'm going after. I just wasn't going to go big.
Jonathan Taylor's up to 46, 47, 48.
Yeah, I might as well tell you. I mean, it doesn't matter because we're gonna see it anyway. So I'm gonna go hard after Chubb.
I figured that. I was waiting for that one.
And then quickly after that, I am gonna throw like a Dobbins out there. I just want to see what everyone goes at. They know that we like him, so I kind of want to see what his price is at. But and then I'll go after one of the larger wide receivers as well. We have Tyreek Hill left. We have Stephon Diggs, and then from there I'll start making, where can I go from here? How much money do I have left?
Jonathan Taylor goes for 50. So again,
that's not bad. That's pretty.
They're staying around that price point right now. 50. Jones went for 54. Kamara went for 55. Barkley went for 55. Zeke went for 52. They're all sticking right around there. Nothing crazy. I like my Dalvin Cook for 60. I didn't pay much more than these guys for a guy I'm much more comfortable with. So
no, yeah. And it does show you if you get one of the first guys, especially if you have I know most people don't think it matters when you have the allotted slot to nominate someone, but if you do have one of the first couple, you do have a lot of power. So you should decide how you're going to use that. One of the ways you can do it that I'm not going to do here because I don't want to, draw it out longer than you can, but you can be the annoying guy that I've been millions of times where I just throw out a run or a kicker or a defense.
That's why I got rid of kicker in this league. I got rid of kickers in this.
Yeah, or defense, right? And someone will throw money out there and you're kind of like, that's fine. But that's always one way to go. Or you either throw out a guy that you want to know right away. Like if I get him, this is the route I'm going. If I don't, I'm going this opposite.
Yeah, that's a pretty big thing to do in your draft is if you have a guy you specifically want, I don't feel like you wait around because what if you don't get him later? Your strategy needs to change, but it might be too late.
Right.
I feel like if you are targeting like a specific set of players, I think you do that early and you go get them because otherwise, what if you don't get them? You have to figure out something different to do. And then, you might be screwed. So go after. And here's Nick Chubb is out there now. So Tyreek Hill just went for 47. Cooper Kupp went for 20. Nick Chubb is out here. Jeff, I have not seen his bid yet. I'm waiting for it. He's waiting for it to get up here. It's at $49. So Chubb's going to go for about the same level, 50. This could be the problem though, Jeff. People might have considered this to be the end of the tier. And his price is now up to 54. I think they considered him the end of the tier.
It could happen.
And that's what happened about waiting. Look at that, Jeff. Look at that.
Ooh, here's the interesting part.
56.
Here's an interesting part. Actually, no, I'll hold off on him.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Actually, I want to see what I end up with because this will be an interesting one. There's still a lot of names left, but I rarely go like heavy wide receiver. But I think with cash, like right now, I absolutely could. But it could get a little dicey. I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
It's all could have backfired on you.
It'll be fun. It might. But this is why you do these drafts and try to figure it out.
That could have been the waiting around could go wrong. So we'll see. I only got one player. I guess I got Dalvin Cook, but at least I got somebody. Here's Calvin Ridley up. All the other receivers have gone basically 47 for Hill, 49 for Adams. I guess there's only been 2 others, right? Oh, other than Anderson in Cup, but the top guys went for 49, went for 47. Here's Calvin Ridley. It's gonna be interesting to see where and Metcalf went for 30, 37. I'll throw a bid in there. All right. No, somebody outbid me to 38. I don't know. 39. Here's Jeff, so I'll back off. He has more money. You might bid me up on this one.
I don't. This one will be actually. I think it's good at 39. So here we go. This will be how I start. So I'll go Calvin Ridley. I still have a couple of other guys that I really, really like. As far as like DeAndre Hopkins is still there, AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson. So there I can go wide receiver heavy. That shouldn't be too hard of a problem. Stephon Diggs would be the main target, but I have a feeling he's going to go for a lot.
He's at 44 right now.
The question will be, do I have enough to go after running back late? Ooh, I can't let him go for 44.
45. You could get a Ridley Diggs start, and all of a sudden it's not bad. You just switched it up. You went receiver, and I think you're going to pull that off.
Yeah. So I think that works out really well. Ridley, that's about the price that he goes. I think people like him a little bit more, but both high-end quality wide receivers. I can even go one more to get a flex if I wanted to, but that would be a little dangerous because all of a sudden I'm low on funds and I do have to get a running back at some point. So this will be very, very interesting where this one goes. Austin Eckler up right now. He's already at 47. I'm going to let him go as well, where this is going to get real dicey for me.
Yeah,
I have to start making a plan really quickly.
47 for Eckler, man. I'm not feeling that at all. I'm just not in standard, especially. I'm not there. Let's see here. All right, let's do this. Najee Harris. Where's he going to go? What's he going to go for? This would be an interesting one. I don't know. Is this going to be the young rookie that everyone kind of goes nuts for? His price is jumping quick. He's up in the 30s, 38, 39, 40. You're not going to get a discount on him. That's for sure. 40. All right, let me get in there.
I like how you're like, all right, well, I'll take a shot.
I will. I'll take a shot. No, I don't know if I want to take a shot anymore.
Let's say he's at 46 currently, 47 for Craig. Craig has him currently. This is about the price. Would you go as high as 50?
No, probably not. I think I'm going to be done.
48.
Let me look. I don't know what else is there.
49 before 50.
I got to see what else is there.
You have to think on your feet really quick. And Craig went in for 49. And we'll see if he holds there or not.
I don't love the rest. I think I got like maybe one or two more guys. I'll take him. I'll take Najee Harris.
He gets him for 49.
I told you, I think I said yesterday's show, I'm starting to Najee Harris. I don't know, coming around on it. I think there's so much workload. I got two running backs that will get the majority of their team's workload. And that's what I feel good about. Cook and Harris, they're gonna get a lot of carries. There's nobody stealing the work from them.
Oh yeah, that is for sure.
So Patrick Mahomes is up here. When I go, I'm probably going to skip on quarterback, actually spending on quarterback after going, two decently priced running backs. But the price isn't bad. He's only at $12 right now, 13.
Well, the good thing about this too is if Mahomes is at 14, maybe he ends up at 20 or something. He's going up a little.
He's up to 15, but
you have to think that the prices for the other quarterbacks will not be crazy at all. And that's what I think. I'm like, I could get one of, maybe I'll take a shot at an Allen or, whoever, or, and we talk about this constantly, but it's kind of funny that, especially in auction and all of these, like Rodgers and Wilson, especially, feel like are always undervalued. They always go a little bit later. They're nominated later. People have less money, so they naturally go for less. But I would rather take a $4 one of them than a $22 Mahomes at the moment.
All day. More. Yeah, this has been a slow build for Mahomes. I hate slow builds in auction. I'm telling you, don't like it. Well, come on,
it's always funny too because you know what they're going through at the moment. Where it's like 5, 4, 3, and you panic. You're like, okay, one more, and then another guy will vote, and you're like, all right, one more.
There he goes. He went for 23. That's not a steal, not a crazy price. It's just kind of whatever it is. So here's David Montgomery. Here's an interesting guy. We'll see what kind of price he goes for. Most all these running backs have been going up towards $50. There hasn't been anybody that's gone for like much less than that, honestly, at this point. 37 might be the lowest.
Yeah, I'm hoping he cools down. We'll see what happens. I would love to get him around the 30 mark, and then I won't feel nearly as bad because I know he's going to get a ton of volume. It's not usually how I'd build my team, but right now I have to go for value running backs.
He's up to 32. So 33. The value, it's not really a discount anymore. It's still a slight discount, but it's not.
I was gonna say it's not bad. 35. This is kind of okay. That was at the edge of what I was kind of thinking. Here's the question though: who else can I get? All right,
but now you got to look around, and money is starting to get thinner. Right. Especially
that guy 36. I don't think that's a bad value. Actually, I think that is.
Nicky X got him, so he's down below 100 value, or prices are going down. There's only 2 more people that have more money than you now. So you got to think there's still some good names out there. Antonio Gibson's there yet. We like Antonio Gibson. Joe Mixon, we have questions. Clyde Edwards-Helaire,
and now I'm gonna throw out a wide receiver. Now it's time to get a little more money off the board. I don't want running backs to go really.
You still got Dobbins, you still got Swift.
Yeah, but I have a feeling people will bid them up, right? So
maybe if it was earlier, they would have. I don't know anymore.
And right now in this situation, I mean, usually I wouldn't go for like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think he's a fine player, a little risky here and there, but I could get really the amalgamation of 3 running backs or 2 really high level starters is what you're looking for compared to, so my whole team has to be very good rather than I'm going to rely on one guy.
So there goes Hopkins for 36.
I think that's a great value.
Starting to trail off a little bit, maybe in prices. Money is definitely going down. Now there's only one more team that has more money than you, Jeff. So you can start maybe getting some guys here. Now I'll throw a $4 bid on Josh Allen. I know I'm not going to get him. So there it goes. But you never know. There's been crazier things I've seen. And sometimes it's funny. And everyone just kind of, falls asleep on a guy. And then I've seen when Julian Edelman was actually decent. I saw him go for like $6, which was just an absolute insane steal because he was boring, right? He's a boring name. So don't fall asleep in this. And Josh Allen goes for 13. All right. So Mahomes went for 23. Allen goes for 13. We're going to get good deals on quarterbacks later. I think that's pretty sure thing there. All right, let's see. What do we got? Who's going to be up next? Maybe Antonio Gibson's the biggest name yet, probably on the board. Still some good receivers. AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson. There's Tannehill. Somebody's trying to
McLaurin there for you.
McLaurin's
I'm hoping
around.
someone throws McLaurin out there. Oh, yeah. Tannehill. My people.
But there's still some names for us. So what's funny, Jeff? I might have to sometimes you do fantasy drafts and you learn, right, from what you've been doing. And maybe your takes are not as good as you thought they were, right? So remember we did a do not draft episode.
Yeah.
And we named Mike Evans.
You're gonna go after Evans?
No, I'm not gonna necessarily go after him in this, but I did some listener drafts and Mike Evans is staring at me in the face in the 4th. And there's really no one else. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that'll happen.
So and you know what?
I'm not so much different than Snake. Honestly,
I'm not as much on the do not draft Mike Evans anymore. If the value is he's been falling later than I would have thought maybe. So I might have everyone else I'm good with. Don't ever draft Myles Gaskin. The guy blows. So sorry. Everybody else, Mike Evans was I actually didn't draft him in any of those spots because I felt like I'd be a hypocrite if I did. So I passed him up. One time I passed up Mike Evans to get Patrick Mahomes just because I'm like, I can't do it.
All right. So I got Clyde Edwards-Helaire for $40,
solid.
Which I was kind of playing. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I was kind of playing chicken with someone else. I was assuming that he was going to go one more and I was going to stop. Totally fine with getting for 40. I think that's solid. I needed a running back.
So how do you feel about your team right now?
I mean, it's very solid so far. How do I finish it out? That'll be the question. I definitely need another quality running back. I think I can do it, but right now my budget is at $76. But with Ridley, Diggs, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I'm in a fine position. But I definitely need a couple more guys.
So Antonio Gibson is out there right now. He's at 42, 43. So I thought maybe he'd come in at a discount, and he's really not either. 44. No. The discount didn't happen with him. I'm honestly, I feel even better and better about my Dalvin Cook for 60. I really do. I think that's
without a doubt
really solid price. I feel really good about that. I like Antonio Gibson for 45. There's nothing wrong with that price right there. It's just makes me feel better about my Dalvin Cook pick. So here goes Joe Mixon. He is probably the last of the biggest names I would say on this board. I mean, there's still there's still then like Sanders and Dobbins and Jacobs and Swift, but Mixon is definitely the top of the guys left. So let's see what happens here with him. We had the polarizing players episode yesterday, and still I don't know if I felt any better about Joe Mixon after that. I probably felt worse.
Yeah, I felt worse as well. And that's why I really didn't want to have to be left with him, because I thought Antonio Gibson would go for more. So I didn't mind paying for CH, but
Mixon's at 35. That's not bad.
I know. I almost kind of
36.
I'm going to throw in a bid because, first of all, don't let him get it for a value. Oh, I don't want to though. I don't want to.
No, I don't either. I didn't either.
I don't want him, but 37 is a good value for him. But
you think anybody listened to our show and got to like, oh no, I don't like that either.
It looked like it. I mean, he went about value of the ESPN rankings, but much lower than the other running backs at the moment. So now people are off that and they're going after Justin Jefferson. So we're going to probably see a wide receiver run. And the question here for how would you handle this? So you have my team. You have one running back, 2 wide receivers already. At this point, are you just hoping that you're trying to get as much money off the board so you have less competition for the running backs you're looking at?
I guess you probably do.
Or do you go for him now?
You have to nominate him if you go up. I think you nominate your guy because I think you just need to get that done with almost.
Right. Kind of like find out which path I'm taking.
Yep. Jefferson's out at $23 right now. That's not bad. Oh, I got in there at 25. Somebody got me to 26.
Team JS Dog won.
I'm going to go to 27. I don't have any receivers yet. Oh, come on, JS Dog. What are you doing? What are you doing, man?
Come on, don't let him have it. Actually, I do think that's a good value.
It's a good price. The price is fine. I mean,
who would you rather have? That's the question.
Really. I mean, I think I'd rather have Jefferson out of the guys that are left.
I would too.
There we go. I got Jefferson for 29. I'm good with Jeff. I got Dalvin Cook. I got Najee Harris. I got Justin Jefferson.
I think Justin Jefferson is a good value, a good price right there for 29.
Here we go.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
J.K. Dobbins. It's J.K. Dobbins time. What do we got?
You had to be an a-hole. You had to be an a-hole.
Yep. What do we got? Just put it up right now, Jeff. Let's go. You got to go after him. You got to go.
I was like, wouldn't you want to take a bunch of money off the board? And you're like,
this is the money. Yeah. Look at this. It's up to $30. It's up to 30 already. 31, 32. Dobbins isn't going to be cheap. He's not a discount at least. He's no discount.
We kind of knew that,
30,
right?
And he's no discount off Mixon.
I have a feeling as soon as they see us bidding too, they're going to be like, they're going to keep going.
All right. I'm not in this. I only have 62 total dollars left, so I don't really have a chance. Just at 35. Jeff's at 36, 37. He's going to go for more than Mixon. Wow.
I honestly believe he should go for more than Mixon.
Oh, I mean, I'm good with it, but I didn't know if it would
I'm starting to get
happen.
into give me 38. I'm totally fine with that. All right, cool.
All right, Jeff. So now how do you feel about your team?
It's solid.
Edwards-Helaire, Dobbins, Ridley, Diggs.
The Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I would love to switch that out with one of the heavy hitters, but I would literally be left with like no money. Right. That would be the difference right here. And if I did that, I probably wouldn't have gotten Ridley. I probably would have, went down to, and that probably would have been the play. Ridley is going to be an incredibly safe wide receiver to have. He's going to be incredibly valuable, but I probably, I save $10 if I go for a Justin Jefferson or an Allen Robinson, who's at 24 currently. So I can save $10 there, which, and lose obviously I would lose a little bit of fantasy value, but overall I probably would make up for it for a little bit better of a running back. But both of the guys I have, Clyde Edwards-Helaire and J.K. Dobbins, are both very high ceiling type guys. And I like, Helaire's possibilities this year more than I liked him last year. And I wasn't a hater, but I was kind of like, I think he's being overvalued. I ended up being right. But I think this year he's actually going for about what he should. And I think that it will open up the offense a little bit to him.
There went Allen Robinson for 26. So Chris Carson's up. He's at
okay. Here, this is an interesting one. I think this one, if I had more money, I would grab him right here. I mean, I could grab him right here. No, my max offer would be 28. So I'd be done though for the rest of the draft. But I think this guy is a great value at the moment. So
yeah, 28.
Yeah, I mean, he's starting to creep up there. But if you, like we talked about it, if you get into a desperate situation and you end up with Chris Carson as your number 2, that is totally fine, especially if you get decent value for him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now,
what are you going to nominate here?
I'm going to nominate CeeDee Lamb because I know that there'll be a big market for him and a lot of money is still on the board. So I want someone that's going to, and right off the bat, people jump to 21, 22. So I want to try to get as much money off the board as I can so I could possibly get one more or two more quality players before I kind of go back to that $1-2 situation.
So Lamb jumped to 26. It looks like he's going to go for about 26, just like that. Boom, 26.
I think that's a really good deal. I thought he was going to go for more.
Well, the new price has been established for wide receivers on the board right now. It was 29 for Jefferson, then 26 for Robinson, 26 for Lamb. That's the new price. And there goes Mike Davis. He's at 11. I wouldn't even spend it. Maybe $1, maybe.
Oh,
I don't buy into Mike Davis. I just don't. I don't at all. So yeah, I just don't buy it. I don't know if you want him. $12.
No, I don't want him. So currently, who you have? Dalvin Cook, Najee Harris, Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
Your budget is what? 68
I have 60
left?
62 left.
62.
I got one more decently priced 20 to 30 player in me.
What is your plan moving forward?
Right. I mean, I want McLaurin, AJ Brown, or Keenan Allen.
Okay. So one more primetime wide receiver or wide receiver you feel really good about.
Yep. I want one of those three.
And then after that, are you trying to keep money so you can get a few bench players that are more than $1?
I'm not I'm going to get some of these guys that I like here and see how it plays out.
Holy cow. Darren Waller's
up at 25.
The tight end market though, established by Kelsey, was ridiculous. So 25 is actually not that crazy, but that is also why I don't deal in tight end. Like I don't go for one of the top 4 or 5 guys because I think they just go for way too much when I can get a value pick later on.
All right, here's AJ Brown. He's up to 26.
Well, here's the question too: is there's
30.
This tier is going to go really quickly, right? Like you named 3 guys, but they are the top ones that are left.
And AJ Brown was probably honestly, I'd almost feel more comfortable with McLaurin and Allen just because I knew that AJ Brown's going to get a bigger price here. And he's at 33, which is fine. That's slightly above Jefferson and Robinson and Lamb. That's fine. So we'll see what happens. There's not only Allen and McLaurin. I want one of those guys. My backup plan is it's not Mike Evans. It can't be. So there's Chris Godwin.
How much are you willing to spend on like McLaurin or what other
Keenan Allen? I'm looking at $30. That's kind of where I'd be going with it.
Yeah, I mean that's not that bad then.
That's my hope at least.
That's probably
except Godwin. We say do not draft Godwin. Maybe we talked about not necessarily Godwin, but you kind of hesitate maybe, but he's at $18. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I'm less skeptical about Godwin than you are. It's more about Evans because
that's a good price right there. More. $18 for Godwin.
Yeah, that's a great price.
I'm actually fine with it. Here's Miles Sanders. He's
at this point too. If you have a good deal, I have my 4 main guys that I'm going for. If there's a guy that's out there and he's going undervalued, even though you don't plan on getting him, how likely are you to throw out a bid and be okay if you do it? Or do you have to not have another player that you're venturing out?
That's the hard thing. If you have a guy you're specifically targeting, you might pass people. That's why I'm saying you got to nominate your guys. I feel like I know people like to wait around, but I feel like you have to nominate your guys so you're not left hanging. Maybe your guy was DeAndre Swift right now. He's the one you want, but Miles Sanders was one of the possible options, and you just let him go. So I think you got to go after him. Miles Sanders went for $25. There's Josh Jacobs. There's really not many left at running back that you're going to feel comfortable.
Well, first of all, if he ends here, I was going to say, is that 7 for a second? Oh, whoa. Okay. He jumped to 14. That's not that crazy.
I say that was in the 20s. I went for, I went in at 15 where I was like, okay, that's not terrible. Josh Jacobs as my 3 isn't the worst in the world, but then I'm like, I can't because that's my problem. I needed to be up to nominate because I just need to go after.
You're up right now,
guys.
So you can throw out. There you go. There's McLaurin.
I'm going to
and
do what I say.
Yeah. If Instagram is any representation, McLaurin is about to go for $88.
The way that hate came in for you. He's up to 25. He's no discount. He's no discount here. So that's for sure.
I was just saying, as long as he makes it to 30, I'll be.
Oh, you know what? It's an auto bid that's doing this.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah, the auto bid.
That'll happen though. That's another thing you do have to look out for.
It. Oh, and he went to 32 with the auto bid. Whatever, get that auto bid out of there.
Which one? Who's that? Nitz? How much money does he have?
That's it. This is gonna drop
42. Okay. Well, his
the auto bid just screwed me. Auto bid screwed me.
Well, his max was 32. You could have gotten him for one more. That's also why you have to look at like the budget.
I think I get Allen's cheaper. Yeah, I'm pissed at auto bid, to be honest. Don't join our leagues if you're going to auto bid. I'm sorry.
So here's actually, what is your thought on Henderson? Right. So Cam Akers, honestly, but okay, I wasn't like not high on Akers because of. I was gonna say it's about to go for a good price too.
Yeah, I would say it wasn't because of the team or the possible workload or what he would do on that team. It was because of Henderson. To be honest, that Henderson is there and was going to play. Henderson doesn't have Akers there. Henderson, I think, is actually $18 right there. I like that value. I think is Xavier Jones going to be playing? We don't know. We don't know anything about that guy. Darrell Henderson might have a good workload on a good team. That could rate $18. That's probably a solid price right there.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Ooh.
Deontay Johnson. I like Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
Let's see where
I like that right here. They dropped down. They didn't go after the next 5 guys. They dropped down. They're going after who they want right here. I like this move. Whether it works out for him or not, I don't know, because Deontay Johnson is kind of a darling. Like I feel like a lot of people like him. But right now he's only going for 15.
Now he's up to 16. It's not crazy. There's nothing crazy about that price. I was about to get in. Somebody else bid me at the same time, so I didn't. Oh man. No, I'm not going to. I see there's a problem. This is when it sucks about auction. There's a guy or two that I still want that I'm like holding off for. But if I didn't get them, maybe I'd go after Deontay Johnson for that price. So Deontay Johnson 19, not bad. Let's see what Jeff decides to nominate here. Keenan Allen. All right, this is the other guy for me.
I'm gonna return the favor.
All right. I'm good with this. I need him here so I can switch up my strategy if need be.
And it's kind of funny too. It's hard to say because once again, in a listener league, a lot of people like the same people we do, but I do feel like Keenan Allen isn't that exciting name anymore. So I do think you'll get a deal for what you think he should go for.
That's what I'm banking on right here. Except JS Dog, he's all over this. And so is Hicks. Hicks and Dog. And Dog.
And they have money just like you.
And then Michaels jumps in, Dog jumps in again at $23, $24 for Michael. There's like 3. I don't like this. There's 3 people in this bidding.
Well, 24 right now. That's not, I was gonna say that is not bad.
Nicky X jumps in out of nowhere.
You have to think that this guy being at near the end of a tier and would be about,
you know what?
30, right?
My missing or not going after McLaurin to think I could get a cheaper Allen didn't play out like I wanted.
No. Well, the question is, you might as well get him because if it's after him, do you feel as good about Mike Evans?
No, I'm not going to Mike Evans. So
Cooper Jones. No, I think Keenan Allen is kind of and honestly, think about this too. Like you'd rather have McLaurin, but you spend what, $3 more maybe? Was it? I guess it'll be 2 more. 3.
Oh, geez, yeah, it goes up to 33 now.
But still, four extra dollars. It burns you a little bit, but you'll be fine.
Yeah,
I think the biggest.
If he goes one more, I'm at 34. If it goes one more, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
I think the biggest fear is missing a tier rather than spending an extra few dollars.
The last guy in a tier,
and you got it for 34. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the last guy in a tier goes for too much. It almost always happens. Except maybe I don't know if that's really the true end of the tier because Mike Evans is still there. So, but
true, but we also said that we don't really want.
True.
So trying to stay fair with it, there we go. And we'll find out if Mike Evans will go for as much. Hopefully it's 30 and then you don't feel bad at all because you would rather spend an extra $4 once you to get Keenan Allen.
Yeah. We'll see what this goes for. If he goes for like 10, I'd be like, oh.
No, I'll be ready to bid if it.
Oh my God. He's just sitting here at $4.
I have to bid. This is stupid. Everyone hates him.
Did they listen to the show the other day or something?
Poisoned the well, Craig. Okay. No. Yeah. Okay. Now he's starting to go.
This is not jumping to the level like Allen did and these others did. It's still not.
No, but at least it's double digits. Like if he finished at 5, I'd be very.
I mean, I think I want him at this price.
Go out and get him.
Oh, yeah. I love on the chat. Devin Michaels just put, I want Craig week 7 as I look at my team by 7-7-7-7. I honestly, I don't really worry about that at the time. It rarely plays out like it just did, right? With 4 straight guys by week of 7.
Yeah. No, the only time I actually look at that is when I start drafting bench spots. That'll be the time I do it. Like if I'm thinking about getting an extra tight end or QB, I won't draft them if they have the same one. But that's about the only thing I really like.
Mike Evans goes for 18. I think we definitely influenced that.
Yeah. It's a good price for him. I mean, that's fine. And that is the big difference between Snake and auction, right? Yep. Because in Snake, that's a set value. For auction, everyone is up for grabs. Like there really is very few people that you wouldn't draft.
Yep.
And now we're about to find out. This one is actually really interesting to me. George Kittle is going, he's usually ranked as the 2nd or 3rd tight end, and right now Waller seems to be wildly more popular. And I totally get it. Kittle has had injuries. There's more mouths to feed now in San Francisco, which is a good thing for whoever ends up being the QB. And he is creeping his way up there. So he's okay. Now he's starting to take off quicker and quicker. So he's going for 21 currently. Man, I mean, Kelsey was he almost 50 in here? And then Waller was in the 20s as well.
Yeah.
Or was okay.
Yeah, Waller was in the 20s.
So yeah, and man, this is also why. Can you ever see yourself going for? And I'll assume it drops off after this. I don't think Hawkinson will go much above like maybe 12. I would think that would be the top. And he's usually ranked as like the 4th.
Yeah.
Would you ever go for one of the top 3 tight ends? Like,
I don't see myself doing it. I never just, that's not my strategy. My strategy in auction, I just don't go for quarterbacks. I just don't go for tight ends. I don't do it. I try to get the other guys almost every time. I can't remember ever spending on those other positions, unless it was like in our main league where we have the money's different and you can end up with extra money and all that and keepers, which changes things. But other than that, regular redraft, I'm just not going after it. So DJ Moore's up here. So, I think we're going to probably only do a couple more players here because it's going to get slow. Names aren't as fun. We don't have as much money. I do want to see DeAndre Swift here. So that's about the last one. I'm going to make sure he's nominated here at some point.
I'm really hoping that we're just going to wait and wait and wait.
We have a couple more. I think Swift is going to end it for us when Swift goes out, because then we'll come back at the end. Well, you guys won't even know we're gone. We'll just we're gonna take a break. We'll come back at the end and see how it all played out. But I want to see Swift here. I want to see how this plays out, and I will nominate him in a couple picks here if he doesn't go. Here's Lamar Jackson's going for a nice $3. I said I don't go for quarterback, but $3 I would have. But that's about my max right there. And now he's up to 5. So I don't want to go for 5. I just don't feel like doing it. But that's not a bad price. Now he's up to 7. There he goes. More of like he should.
All right. Well, before we go off, you're nominating in 4 picks, so we'll be off. Oh no, here we go. DeAndre Swift.
There we go. Here's Swift.
So we'll see what happens here, and then we'll go off. But what are you hoping for the rest of your draft?
Good players.
You don't have any other plan, and you're just going value now?
There's some guys I have my eye on. I'm debating whether or not to go after it in this league, because I don't want you to have my strategy per se.
I've actually thought about that. Me and Craig are traveling to Milwaukee for our main draft here this weekend. And there's a few names we're trying to hide from one another.
You don't know my strategy yet, so I haven't determined what I'm doing. So we'll find out. Swift right now is sitting at 15, 16. There he goes. 20, 21, 22.
I just keep hitting the big button.
Oh, it's you, Jeff. It's you. You're doing it. 25. You and Michaels. Michaels wants him too there. You're at $25. You're going to get DeAndre Swift. You'll get Dobbins and Swift and Edwards-Helaire and Ridley. And
actually, no, I love that. Okay. And I have like no money left,
but you like this team. Edwards-Helaire, Dobbins, like Swift, Ridley, Diggs. You're good with that.
And I do have a little bit of money left, so I'm going to wait, but I can probably get a tight end I really like. There's a couple I like. I'm hoping that I don't have to go into my creative stash. And same thing with QB, but I really like this. And bench, honestly, like in auction, there is a lot of talent here later on. So don't hold too much money when you're going for your bench. Like I know there's a couple of rookies that you're kind of like, I really want to pay for them. I want to see if they turn out. That is totally fine. Don't neglect your starters though. Your starting roster and maybe 1 or 2 bench spots at the most. Everything else should be 1 maybe $2, honestly. Yep. And that's the way I think of it. Is that similar to yours?
No, I'm with you there. I like to get most of my money spent in my starters, except, like not even quarterback. I just get my money spent in those starters and those running backs, those wide receivers, and get as good a players as you can. So, all right. I think that'll do it for right now. We'll be back though. We'll let you know how our teams went and how everything played out here. So we got a little bit to go. We're a third of the way through the draft. I know it goes quicker as we go on, but we'll give you an update here in a little bit. Talk to you guys in, I don't know, 1 minute you'll be on here.
Yeah.
All right. We're back. Draft is over. Not sure how I feel about it, but we'll see here, Jeff. How do you think your team played out? How do you like what you ended up with?
I think after abandoning going for a very high-end running back, it kind of ended up where I wanted it to. I think my starting roster is very solid all the way through. And then I have a few guys on the bench that I like. But it was interesting. I think QB and tight end, even though I don't hate who I ended up with, they went a little deeper than I thought they were originally going to. Like there was a couple of teams that went for 2 tight ends. And once you start seeing that, I had less money to deal with at the end, so I couldn't outbid them. So all of a sudden, I was kind of like getting near the end of where I wanted to be for tight end and QB. But, I still ended up with Matthew Stafford, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, J.K. Dobbins, Kelvin Ridley, Stephon Diggs, Jonnu Smith as my tight end. DeAndre Swift will be my flex, and then the Ravens D. And then on the bench, Gus Edwards as a guy that can play, but also the handcuff for Dobbins, which I really glad I was able to get. I got Ronald Jones, which I think he's an intriguing player, especially that I can put on the bench. And then a bunch of young wide receivers, Mecole Hardman, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Russell Gage, Elijah Moore, and Rashad Bateman, as I already have Kelvin Ridley and Stephon Diggs. So I'm just kind of swinging for the fences for the young guys. But overall, I really like it. I think I have a little bit of depth, but I think my starting roster will be able to compete with anyone. And then we'll see if I'm able to do anything in the waiver claims during the year, which you're always looking for one guy. So I like where I'm at currently. How about you?
It's okay. I like my starters. So I ended up, like you guys heard, I had at the time, I had Dalvin Cook and Najee Harris, Justin Jefferson, Keenan Allen. I ended up with Russell Wilson at quarterback. I did throw Trevor Lawrence on my bench at the end. So Dalvin Cook, Najee Harris. I don't really like how my running backs played out. I waited too long. I should have got one more guy. That's where I would have done, is got one more guy before the 3 I have. Because I got 3 veterans who are in committees, and we don't know if they're any good. We don't know if they're going to play. Leonard Fournette, James Conner, Philip Lindsay. I should have one more guy between Najee and these 3. That's what I don't have. So that's where I think I missed on wide receivers: Jefferson, Allen, Kenny Galladay, Jamar Chase as a 4. Some potential. See what happens. And then I threw Corey Davis. This was late. I spent my money and I'm down to $1, and I'm just like having to get lucky here. Corey Davis and Darnell Mooney, Evan Ingram at tight end because I waited forever, and then the 49ers defense. I would have liked one more running back in there. That's kind of what I think. That's the only thing I would do differently. And I wasn't even really looking at it at the time. I don't know who that would have been, because it wasn't like I missed on somebody. I just probably didn't go after somebody I should have. I should have been thinking about it, and I just didn't do it. And maybe that's I'm not sure how I would have done it different, but definitely would have liked to have one more running back in there.
And I was just say it's interesting too, because I think the difference is you fell into a potential trap that you can do if you go after, especially Najee Harris even goes for quite a bit of money. Yep. So the 2 running backs really deplete your funds quick.
Yep.
And then you're trying to figure out how to fill up the rest of your team. And then before you know it, the rest of the running backs that you really want to target are gone, and there's no one else to go for. I think your team turned out fine. And I think the guys that you targeted, that you named Fournette, Lindsay, and who was the third one?
Fournette, Lindsay, and God, I don't even know it's so bad. James Conner.
And James Conner. I think between the 3 of them, I think that they have potential, which I like. So I don't think you're like completely out of luck. I think those guys will definitely be serviceable for bye weeks and whatnot. And one of them could easily win the starting job. Fournette is not that far away. If something happens to Rojo, which I hope not, because I have him, but all of a sudden you have 3 very, very capable backs. So I don't think you're in a bad position at all, and your starting lineup is very solid. So I'm interested to see what happens when you throw them into the calculator.
So I got three different sets of ranks here. So one of the ESPN's ranks have Trotsky as the number one squad out there, and Michaels is number two. And I think that we were let's see who they have, because we were talking about them during the draft, like as we were looking at teams, and I know we liked Michaels' team at the time. Michaels had Kyler Murray, Derrick Henry, Antonio Gibson, DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham, Amari Cooper, Raheem Mostert, Julio Jones, Michael Pittman, David Johnson, Justin Fields, Latavius Murray. Like that team.
Yeah, I really like what he did.
Trotsky's the other one that's up top, and that's Mahomes, McCaffrey. Mike Davis is two. That's the thing I don't like. But Tyreek Hill, Michael Thomas, Mark Andrews, Dallas Goedert, Antonio Brown, James Robinson, and Myles Gaskin. Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, I mean, that is the, if you go after the primetime guys like that, I mean, pairing up Hill and Mahomes is the great always, obviously.
Yep.
And then, the stacking, and then getting,
so
McCaffrey, like
ESPN ranked me 8th out of 10 and you 10 out of 10.
Oh my gosh. Well, I knew that was going to happen on mine a little bit. I didn't think it was going to be 10 out of 10, but I had a feeling because of they don't have J.K. Dobbins nearly as high. They don't like Swift.
Yes, and that's how it's going to play out. Dobbins and Swift are going to kill your ranks because people don't like them like we like them.
Yeah,
and that's
also even the tight end QB situation will hurt you, even though I don't think it will. It's not that big of a drop off. But like I have Matthew Stafford, he's totally fine. I can stream. So I'm not as worried about the rankings, but that's funny. I don't think I've finished that low in a very long time.
So
but I actually like my team. So okay.
Fantasy Pros put Trotsky number 1 as well. Michael's number 2 as well. Put me 7th and you 9th.
There we go. I'm moving my way up. What's the third one?
So Football Guys just does it on a grading scale. So they gave Michaels an A. So that was the top. They gave Trotsky an A. So Trotsky and Michaels on all three ranking systems, number 1 in the league. And I'm going to go with that too. They gave me a B, gave you a B, and gave 5 other teams a B, and then 1 a C. So
I think, that's probably more. I mean, I get it. Like, no, I mean, like when you have to rank them, it becomes very like you're splitting hairs. And you never know. Is that like, does bench actually come into it? Does it not? Like, defense probably has something to do with it. You're kind of like, okay, whatever. But I do agree with them. I think for the most part, they're probably correct. And Michaels was the one that I looked at and I really liked his team. Trotsky, obviously he has some really high firing weapons, but I worry about depth, but we'll see how it turns out. I think this one will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, there we go. Auction. First one under the way. We needed to get that out of the way for our big draft this weekend. So it was our practice. And I don't feel any better.
No. We were cracking up when we were not recording because we forget what it was like to sit there with like no money. You just have to wait and like, all right. But once you get to that point, you're kind of like, there's an ocean of players you can get at the very end.
True.
Who do you actually want?
We're traveling for our big draft, and I'm going to be sitting there the whole time, basically feeling that way from the start of the draft because I'm out of draft money to begin with. So,
our draft is going to be brutal.
It's going to be rough. You experienced that last year. I don't have it as bad as you did, or 2 years ago, whatever that was. You just sat there.
It was last year.
Oh, last year. You sat there with
no
just
money.
Nothing.
Literally no money. I had to keep McCaffrey, and anyway, that's what happens though. I won a title before. I had to mortgage my team.
Yep. So all right, that'll do it. Yeah. If you're in Milwaukee this weekend, hit us up. But all right, talk to you guys next time.